this does not mean that the rural, I'm having trouble with that word, rural. I sound stupid today, I'm sorry. Areas in those states do not see their share of violent crimes, okay? It doesn't mean they don't. But in browsing through such sites, I was using U.S. and World, U.S. Today, Washington Post, New York Times, etc., etc. Okay, I found the articles to be confusing and their stats, well, just plain misleading. Okay, so let's dive into it, right? According to U.S. and World, they ranked Alaska as having the highest gun crime per capita. I am not shitting you. Alaska is #1 in the most crime. Yeah, we hear about Alaska all the time. On the news. Holy crap. Alaska. Wow. You know, you're just as bad as Chicago, I guess. If not worse. It's craziness. Okay, I had to laugh about it, but, Alaska, of all places. Okay, now serious note. Okay, why? Is because their numbers that they were counting were, 23 per every 100,000, okay? Only problem with Alaska's population as of 2017 is they only have 739,795 people. It might be, might be more, okay? The total number of firearm-related deaths were 177. 177 with a population of 739,795 people. Yeah. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse you. Now, let's break it down. 177. Wow. Wow, that sounds like a lot. It is. But here's the problem. If you are going to talk about crime, talk about fucking crime. Don't count suicides. Suicide's really not a crime. Okay? You just killed yourself. That's it. You didn't hurt anybody. You hurt people's feelings. You're no longer with us. You're dead. Okay? Suicide is different when you're talking about crime. There were 113 suicides. 113. And how many homicides? 45. 45 out of 739,795 people in the population. More people committed suicide in Alaska than they did commit violent crimes, such as homicide. Because we're talking gun statistics right now. That's what we're talking about. 113 suicides. And in the same article, at the same time, they ranked New York at 48. Yeah. Their numbers were 4.4 per 100,000. Okay. New York with a population of 8.538 million people in New York. State. Not city. State. Okay? The total number of firearm-related deaths, 900. Guess what, people? 490 of them were suicides. 390 suicides. I see how confusing it is? Even I'm looking at it and I'm going, huh. Now, they don't clarify, like, you know, they don't. It's so confusing. It's inflating the numbers, you know. But then as a free thinker, you kind of sit back and you look at Alaska and you look at their population and you're like, there's really not a lot of people in Alaska, and they're so spread out. Like, it could be months before you see another person in Alaska. Places like Chicago and, of course, New York, right? It could be 2 seconds before you see another person, right? So I don't really understand how they're getting those numbers with a 4.4 for every 100,000. Okay, you have to basically sit there and do math, all right? If I sat here and did the math, I'm pretty sure that I exclude. Okay, let's say I excluded the suicides. I'm pretty sure the homicides are way more in New York State than they are in Alaska. Okay, I'm not saying that people don't get pissed off in Alaska and say, "Get off my property," boom, shot you dead, kind of thing. But it's so vast and so sparsely populated that local law enforcement really doesn't exist. So you have to take the law into your own hand, especially when it comes to your own property. So, okay, but I digress. I'm getting off the topic, but you see how it is? Because that's how they dilute the facts. While New York City itself had 395 homicides. You know, this is from a different source. They had 395 homicides. This is actually from the crime statistics per city. They had 395 homicides and 985 non-fatal shootings alone. I mean, that's every major city in this crime statistic. Guess what? Alaska really didn't, was even lower than those numbers. The left-wing media purposely misinforms the public in order to fit their agenda. When we hear the left on their platform reminding us of the 33,000 that are killed each year due to gun violence, I want us to remember this. I want us to kindly remind them that 6,808 of those killed, those gun deaths, are from major cities. And that's according to the Major Cities Chiefs Association report. This is the Chiefs reporting to the Chiefs Association, and that's the numbers. Now, we've heard of how some chiefs try to make their numbers lower, right? Because they want that funding, right? So it's all about smoke and mirrors, dog and pony show. That's all it is. When the truth is really out there, you have to go out there and you got to dig it for yourself. You cannot take what CNN says and say, "Oh, yeah, that's true." You cannot take what Fox News says, even though they're more right-wing than anybody. You can't take what they say as factual and true. You have to do some digging. And then when you start, excuse me, I hope that didn't pick up. Woo, I just burped. Sorry about that. If you start digging, you see these patterns of, like, the Chiefs, reporting to the Chiefs Association. And that's what's going on. And I'm pretty sure those numbers are even higher because I have read reports of city chiefs and, even sheriffs giving in low numbers. Low numbers, hiding, scrubbing the books, doing whatever they can so that they can get that budget, they can get that funding, they can get their honors, they can, well, it makes them look good. And they're like, oh, well, congratulations, here you go, here's a pat on the back. All for a pat on the back and an award and, like, recognition. Wow, your job, we live in a constitutional republic. Your job is to uphold the law, not scrub the books to make yourself look good, make your department look good. But I digress. I'm getting more into another topic that is probably going to be happening next week with a special guest. I hope. Actually, more of a special guest co-host. She should be on the show. I don't know. Laura, if you're listening, I hope you do join me on the show and send me whatever information you want to talk about. But anyways, and the truth is, not only with the 6,808 of those gun deaths coming from major cities, 21,000 of those deaths include the statistics from suicides. 21,000 of them are suicides. So that cuts it way down. Another mathematical problem. If you guys want to go ahead and sit there, I'll say the numbers again. 33,000 killed each year, minus 21,000 suicides, because we don't want to talk about that. Well, we'll talk about that some other time, but, we're talking about gun violence, somebody committing a crime of murder, assaulting somebody with a firearm, not somebody deciding that life sucks, I'm going to end it, okay? Not that. And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I'm really freaking tired of the left, including suicides. Because it's, if you're going to talk about it, say 33,000 were killed last year from firearms. Just say firearms. Not 33,000 are killed every year by firearms in crimes. Because that's what they do. They inflate it to make it seem worse than it is. And it's fear-mongering. Sorry. Stop doing that. Okay? And if anybody has ever had a friend, I had friends, I've actually had 5 of them commit suicide. And I'm not trying to be insensitive at all. And it really hurts me to see that when people post on Facebook or hear the stories of those that commit suicide. So it's not a joke. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just saying we need to get real. We need to start telling the truth and not, fixing a narrative in the way that we want it to be. So, 33,000 minus 21,000 suicides. Okay. Then, then with you knowing that there's 6,808, you'll have to dig in and find out where the rest of the, 12,000, okay, so a little less than 6,000. I don't have a calculator in front of me right now, but it's like, it's close to about another 6,000. I think it's about 500, let's see if I'm not even going to do math right now, okay. The point is, all death is tragic. And that many are trying to find a way to battle suicide and prevent homicide, okay? But pretending to be on the moral high ground, calling law-abiding citizens names, closing off all avenues of discussion, and flat-out misinforming the public to further push an agenda is not what we need to be doing. But rather, we need an open discussion with clear lines of communication. research further into preventive measures and being truthful in the coverage. And I'm talking about you, media, truthful in the coverage. And that goes